Before Rome knew his name, before the world trembled under his rule, Nero was only a quiet boy who loved one thing: fire. While other children played with swords, he held candles until the wax melted into his skin, watching the flame as if it were his friend. His mother, Agrippina, did not see a son. She saw a throne waiting to be taken. She whispered to him, "My child, you will burn the world before you ever bow to it." And that was the first spark of a coming empire of flames. To place Nero on the throne, Agrippina cleared every obstacle. Rivals vanished, senators died with stomach pains, and Emperor Claudius fell after one final poisoned bite. Rome believed it was fate. Agrippina knew it was calculation. At 16, Nero became Emperor of Rome. Crowds cheered, trumpets roared, but behind him, Agrippina gripped his shoulders like a puppeteer. Rome celebrated a new ruler. They did not know they had crowned a storm. But the throne did not make Nero free. Every decision was hers, every victory belonged to her, and the young emperor began to feel the chains he could not see, but could feel tightening every day. Desperate to break her grip, Nero planned an elegant murder, a collapsing boat designed to drown her. But Agrippina survived, crawling from the black water like a vengeful ghost. And with her survival, Nero's fear turned into hatred. Nero sent assassins to finish what the sea did not. Agrippina's final words were not a plea, they were a curse. "Your rule will drown in fire, Nero." And with the death of his mother, the last chain snapped. With his mother dead, Nero was finally free. No guidance, no restraint, no voice to stop the storm inside him, and Rome would soon feel the cost of his newfound freedom. He drowned himself in pleasures, feasts lasting days, wine flowing like rivers, dancers from every corner of the empire. Senators were forced to applaud him until their hands bled. But even love could not escape Nero's fury. In a moment of rage, he struck Poppaea, the woman he claimed to adore, ending both her life and the life she carried. When the palace fell silent, Nero wept, not for her, but for the praise he would never receive from her again. Rome grew uneasy. Whispers filled taverns. Shadows lingered in the streets. Something dark was forming in the emperor's mind, something that would change the world forever. On an unbearably hot July night, a spark caught onto dry wood near the Circus Maximus. A gust of wind, a careless moment, and flame became fate. The flame spread like a living monster, devouring markets, temples, and homes. Panic tore through the streets as families ran through smoke, screaming for help that would never come. While Rome drowned in fire, Nero stood on a distant balcony, watching the flames rise like an opera. And then he began to sing. His voice drifted over burning Rome as the city that crowned him crumbled beneath the weight of his madness. When the flames died, Rome was unrecognizable. Blackened ruins, families homeless, temples reduced to ash. And amidst the smoke came whispers. He did this. The emperor burned Rome. Rumors rose like embers, and soon the embers became fire. For the first time, Nero felt fear, not of armies, not of rivals, but of his own people. Rome no longer adored him. Rome suspected him, and Nero knew he needed someone else to blame. So he pointed the empire's anger at the easiest targets, the Christians. Peaceful, quiet, defenseless. Soldiers stormed their gatherings, tearing families apart. Their cries filled the streets, but Nero heard only his own heartbeat. Their fate was unspeakable. Many were tied to stakes, coated in pitch, and burned alive to light Nero's night gardens. Guests drank wine while human torches crackled in the darkness, and Nero smiled, saying, "How beautiful the night shines." While survivors slept in tents, Nero built a palace fit for gods, the Golden House, a monument to his vanity. Golden halls, rotating dining rooms, fountains scented with perfumes. Rome called it madness. Nero called it destiny. But the city did not heal. The people did not forget. And every glittering stone of Nero's palace reminded them of what they lost. The fire had burned Rome, but Nero's actions burned their loyalty. In the provinces, men began to stand against him. The first was General Galba, a commander respected by his soldiers, feared by his enemies. When Nero demanded loyalty, Galba refused, and the whisper of rebellion became a roar. Abandoned by guards, advisors, and friends, Nero ran through dark hills and empty streets. The emperor who once commanded thousands now hid like a frightened child. Every step echoed the empire's anger. In a tiny villa, the emperor hid. The world had turned against him. Every shadow could be his death, every knock on the door a sentence. Nero could not strike alone. Fear had frozen him. Only with a loyal servant's help could he attempt to end what remained of his reign, his life. As the maid pierced his throat, Nero gasped his final words, "What an artist dies in me!" And the emperor who had burned Rome was no more. No marble tomb, no mourners, no empire's tears. Nero was buried quietly, a tyrant whose terror was finally ended. Rome exhaled, but the scars remained. From the ashes, Rome rose again, streets rebuilt, temples restored, lives renewed. The empire survived, but the memory of Nero's madness never faded. Centuries have passed, yet his name still burns like a warning. Nero, the boy who loved fire, the emperor who worshipped it above all, and the shadow that haunted Rome for generations.